Mom. Dad. Juliet. Nui. Hello everybody and welcome back to PanCake Friday. We are back after a week off. You can blame COVID for the mess here. Neve, how was your COVID?
The COVID wasn't actually that bad, but the thing is I've realized that when you're sick, but you're also a parent, you don't get to, just be sick. Because you still have to do all your parent shit, too.
That's how I felt. I was sick, but it was more the fact that you had to we basically just took turns sleeping while the other was taking care of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, apologies. We basically did that, and then we ended up in Penticton for the weekend to see my mom, and that was really fun being up in Penticton.
It was really fun, yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. I'm not gonna lie. It actually the realistically this stuff. If we had done a PanCake Friday last week, it would have been so boring because we would have just been like, yeah, we're sick and tired because we had kids, so there's no real no pancakes.
Yeah, just to clarify, we weren't sick and tired because of the kid. We were sick and tired because of COVID, and then having a kid on top of that.
Speak for yourself. Yeah, so I've got my usual stuff down here. I want to introduce a new segment that I think will be a fun thing to do tonight, that we can carry forward, and I think we'll just talk about Penticton a bit. I've got a wild story about homeless people and hot sauce and sharing underpants. So, but I'll get to that. Let's start with what did you think of Penticton?
I really liked Penticton. I thought it was really nice. It was hot. It was hot. But yeah, I had a lot of fun there. It was just nice to kind of have a little staycation.
It was,
and hang out with your mom.
Yeah, it was fun hanging out with my mom. I don't get to do that enough.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
Yeah, she is. Pioneer Marge.
Shout
out to Pioneer Marge. Just for people that want to know who Pioneer Marge is, my mom's, I guess it's like her alter ego. She loves to cook, and there's a Pioneer woman. It's like Martha Stewart, but for pioneer women that wanted I guess it's more practical food, truly, things you make, as opposed to Martha Stewart's this high-end cooking. This is just good grub for everyone, home style cooking.
I would say that. Home style cooking.
And it was good to be. The thing that I thought was crazy, I don't know if you know this, so when we were up there, it was, let me think of it,
I think it got up to 37.
One day it went for 5 hours 36 degrees, hit 37, and then for another 3 hours was 36 degrees or something like that. It might have been a little shorter after, but it was really hot.
It was really hot.
So the Grand Fondo was taking place. For those of you that don't know, it's a massive bike race around Penticton, the Lake Kalamalka, I believe it is. Someone died at the bike race.
Womp womp. Sorry, that was massively inappropriate.
Damn. I mean, actually, it was pretty good, but it was inappropriate. Yeah, an 80-year-old died at the bike race.
Well, if you're 80, why are you riding a bike?
Yeah, on Monday.
I have no sympathy.
On Monday, the interior hit low 40s, so I'm guessing 41, 42. That to me
that
is
was
absurd.
Just really poor decision making on that person's part. Obviously, don't want to speak ill of the dead, but that guy, if you're 80 and you think it's a good idea to do a massive bike race in 38-degree heat, then you kind of have to expect to die.
I don't know. I don't know what to. But that happened. The one thing I will say, I actually don't know if they were in the bike race or if they were it was on the same day as it.
So you don't actually know.
No, I don't. I just know an 80-year-old died at the bike race.
Well, what? Maybe he like lay down in the road and all the bikes trampled him.
Can you imagine that's what happened? They're like 42 degrees and someone died today, and I'm just like, oh my, the heat. No, an old man was run down. But either way, that's crazy that's just a thing.
Yeah.
Because first off, people die all the time. That God rest the dead. I don't know, may the dead rest with respect or whatever. But like 42 degrees or low 40s, that's a temperature that we get here. I know we got that in Lytton, but Lytton was literally the hottest. I think it's the hottest place in Canada, 100% the hottest place in BC, like consistently. So it makes sense you hear, and it's a slot canyon and so it's like it makes sense why it gets all hot.
Yeah.
But to have 42, I'm not happy about this.
Global warming, baby.
Whatever happened to global cooling? Why don't we roll back time 12,000 years ago to the Ice Age and everyone can just chill?
If we lived in the Ice Age, I would get a pet mammoth to ride.
That brings us into our next topic. Kids getting trampled by ponies at the Calgary Stampede.
So this happened like purely by coincidence as well, and I'm so glad it did, because I think it made my day, if not week, if not life. We were just sitting at a random ass pub in Penticton,
The Dragon Boat.
The dragon boat.
Yeah.
Catching up with our old pal Alex.
Buddy old pal
Alex.
Bucko.
And we're fortunate that we have a friend like Alex who shares in our dark sense of humor. And I'm kind of like facing the TV, and all of a sudden I just kind of look up and I see like a kid getting trampled by a little pony. And obviously it's hilarious, so I pointed out to both Derek and Alex. And it's like a whole segment. It's like a whole part of the stampede is just like kids getting pulled around by this pony and then getting like ran over by it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So like, okay, first off, I'm not gonna pretend I know rodeo at all. I just know like the chuck wagon's super dangerous and horses die, but they're bred to do it, so it's controversial. I know there's clowns, I know there's the bulls and the horses, but that's like super generic.
Yeah, that's
to
like
see that happen was so hilariously bizarre, and it makes me think that maybe we should move to Alberta strictly to raise kids that will wrestle ponies.
Honestly, I feel like this is what BC is missing, and it's training our kids to be hard. You know, like training our kids that, you know, sometimes you're gonna get trampled by a pony, but you have to like get back up. And those kids, like, they didn't even cry; they bounced back up.
Well,
like a kid in BC will cry because you call it Jeremy, and it's like, no, I'm Jeremy. You know, like.
No, I disagree with that so wholeheartedly. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a pony wrangler, okay? But no, we aren't raised soft in BC. We literally have to walk up a hill. In North Van, it's just a hill.
Oh, we have to walk up a hill.
Walking downhill in North Van.
We can't walk up a hill.
Walking downhill in North Van is still walking uphill. And everyone here, like, I literally, growing up, just ate tree bark. Most kids around here just ate straight tree bark.
You're so full of shit.
Yeah, right. Okay, now all of a sudden, honestly, I'm just changing it. The Alberta kids are little bitches. Like, all of them are like, oh, I can't wrestle a pony. Literally, growing up, me and my friends just fought animals. Name an animal from BC. Bear, fought it. Moose, fought it. Cougar.
You're getting awfully defensive.
I fought cougars, but not the cat.
Don't ever do that.
We need video just so you can see my claws.
Honestly, I just got the ick.
Okay, well, I started off, I wanted to just talk about the child wrangling pony thing, but now this has gone into a full-blown kids in BC are raised right. Kids in Alberta are pony husking sissies.
Pony husking sissies.
Yeah, you heard it right. Okay, I want to move on to something that I've had this one in the chamber for a while now. Is it wrong to use another person's wedding to ask someone to marry you?
Yes.
Whoa.
There's
you need to
like
think about it.
no, you don't need to think about it.
Why?
That's not your day.
Well, no, but you're not like you're just
No.
you're part of it.
No.
Like
No.
for example. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say we go to a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Armand and Rachel's wedding.
Yes.
Armand and Rachel are walking down the aisle, and like out, everyone's cheering for them.
Yeah.
Armand, Rachel,
Yeah.
Armand, and then I go, everybody, I've got announcements. I'd like to take this moment.
I would say no. I would straight up say no.
Okay, so
like,
this
I don't
is
even
a
need
controversial
to
thing. I honestly think you'd be shocked. I think most people would feel it's appropriate. At least
No,
half.
no.
Why?
I don't believe that for a second. Any female you ask, oh, would you mind if I proposed to my girl on your wedding day? They would uninvite you to their wedding.
Okay, well, I know for a fact Joach is going to be listening to this, and he for sure thinks it's fair.
No. Joach is not. I was like, Joach, if you are listening to this,
He is.
do not propose at anyone's wedding.
Okay, well, here's...
Ever.
No. It does...
Don't do it.
I think we're going to leave this as everyone has different opinions on what's the...
I mean, the only way it would ever be acceptable is if you were to talk to both the bride and groom beforehand and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Like, are you okay with that?
No, you tell them.
No. You ask them.
Okay.
Because think about how much money goes into weddings, and they've spent that money for like a day for them, and then you just go on like encroach on that and be like, oh, I'm gonna propose. Like, no, like absolutely
so
not.
So a wedding's all about the people that pay for the wedding?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess...
Well, I mean, yeah, a wedding is literally about two people.
I think we can agree that the term wedding might be loosely used nowadays.
How? Like, how? Give me one justification to that
I agree.
statement.
There's just no way. I was just thinking of it at that wedding. I was like, yeah.
Oh, were you thinking about it because I caught the bouquet?
Well, no.
Because I did catch the bouquet.
You did catch the bouquet, but I was thinking of it just because I thought it'd be a funny thing to think about. Like, they're doing speeches, and then you're like, you just hear the back like, oh my god, yes!
No. Absolutely
everyone,
not.
the whole attention turns up. It's like, yeah, ruins the wedding.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Okay, so we could all agree that one's a cultural difference. Culture to culture, I'm sure it's different. No one knows. Okay. Do we want to go a little spicy, or do we want to...
On a scale of 1 to 10, how spicy?
Oh, Jesus. I'm freaking out there. I'm talking like sexual.
Yeah, but like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, it's not like that.
Sexual, okay, yeah. Then yeah, we'll go for it.
Sleeping with Taylor Swift. Yin yang.
I personally, it's a no from me. I just feel like she'd be starfished, you know.
That's that's why I thought of this. Was I was kind of like you'd assume because they're like a super sexy top of the world pop star, but I don't know if I would be down.
Is she that sexy?
No.
She kind of looks like the human version of a daddy long legs. You know what I mean?
Well,
she's very spindly.
That's a fair word.
And I feel like there would be I feel like there would be limbs kind of all over the place, and it would just be very vanilla.
Yeah, very vanilla, and I feel like the expectation would be that you're sleeping with her, therefore she's the best. And quite frankly, I'm not into that.
Yeah, honestly, I just don't find her attractive in general.
Well,
I know you're all about blonde hair, blue eyes.
Well, I am, but not her.
but yeah, not for me.
You can be blonde haired, blue eyes, and still look like you got hit by a dump truck.
Yeah, look at you. Oh, snap.
It's, maybe I don't know. Maybe this was a bad idea
So
to
it was
do
a
a
no.
podcast.
It was a no on Taylor Swift.
Yeah, me too. I actually I think that's gonna. Should that be the question? Would you sleep with Taylor Swift in the polls?
I mean, yeah, I think
Why-
we should
yeah.
put it in the poll, but I think it will have a very high no
Yeah, I think like most.
rate. I
Yeah.
don't know that people have different tastes, right?
Yeah, boring vanilla rich bitch.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
like me.
some people
That's
relate.
me. Okay, so I kind of got off track here. I started reading those first. We should talk more about Penticton, other than
Yes.
just Pioneer Marge,
Okay.
which was awesome. So what did you think? Neve got a haircut there. Her hair's half as long as it used to be.
Less than half.
How was your haircut? Were they good?
I mean, like, I didn't have very high expectations. I kind of had just got to a point where my hair was so freaking long. Like, it was down to, like mid-butt crack.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It was
crazy
super long. I think
I didn't realize till you pointed out. I was
Yeah.
like, oh Jesus, that's super long.
I think they probably cut off around 12 to 14 inches,
Damn, that's crazy.
which is a lot of hair.
Well, it looks
But
good.
at that point, I was literally just like, I just want this hair gone. I don't care. It was just really inconvenient, and I just wanted it off my head. I was gonna do it myself, but Derek forbid me.
Yeah, I forbid Neve from cutting her own hair now. I said no more of that.
Boo, Derek, boo. But yeah, like, it was fine. I was already like a little bit lit when I went in for the haircut because we'd had a couple happy hour marks, and a little pickleback beforehand. So I was like, yeah, just cut all my hair off, and she did. So
Nice.
in that term, like, yeah, it was a good haircut.
What do you think of the food? I thought the problem was I just got appies. I got the calamari, but I feel like at this point calamari's like I was trying to suss out Penticton. It was pretty nice, I'd say, but we did just see it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't there for kind of super long, and we also just had stuff that we were doing, so. I like that because I wanted it to be more of a chill thing,
Yeah, I did
especially
too.
after, like, getting out of our sickness and just having a nice
that's the
chill
nice
weekend.
thing. My mom's just chill. She's always down to do stuff, but she's not like like we have to go do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then also it was just way too hot.
Yeah, it was.
Way too hot. This leads into, this is a wild story. So I haven't told you this full story just because I wanted to do it on the pod, the like fullest extent of it,
You haven't told me the full story?
about the homeless people.
Yeah.
And that kid. Well, like it's not like nothing like super profoundly different. It's just there's a bit more details to it.
Did you fuck a homeless girl, Derek?
No. What? No.
Maybe.
Okay, so Penticton has like their whole homeless population lives next to a little stone church, I guess there's a few homeless populations, but like their main one in the downtown core. And so what happened was Neve, I dropped her off, and like you'd said, we had some margs, or I had those limoncello drinks, and then a pickleback, and I'd only had a little calamari, so I definitely had a buzz on.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, hey, I'll drop Neve off, and it was 15 minutes to get home, and then 15 minutes back, and it was gonna take you like 45 hours. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna chill, right? So first I see a board game shop. It's like a Warhammer / board game shop, and it was like honestly so sweet. The only thing that sucked about it was like they didn't have comic books, which I was fine with because I'm not as much into the comic books as I am all that other stuff. So I was super stoked, but the problem was all their board games were super advanced ones. Like I was gonna buy Catan just for like my mom to have at her place, but like they didn't have Catan. They only had like really intense like $200-$300 games or like big boxes and stuff. And tons of Warhammer.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, exactly. And but the guy also had like the most hot sauces I've ever seen. And the reason I started talking to him about it was because he had Da Bomb. And for those of you that don't know, Da Bomb is on Hot Ones. It used to be the hottest sauce, and now it's the 8th hottest sauce for the Hot Ones challenge.
Say hot ones again.
Hot ones. Why?
Oh, you just said it a bunch in a row.
Hot ones. And so I start talking to the guy, and I explain to him, and this is true, like on air when we did the podcast with Luke, a 3-person circle, we had been drinking it. For people that have listened to all of them, it's the one where we were eating a whole bunch of food the whole time as well, so you could hear like trips. And Da Bomb actually tastes and smells like chemicals. Like it's a hot for sure, but it's not like a hot sauce where you're like, oh, it's hot, good. It's literally just burns your mouth.
Yeah.
And this dude, though, so I telling him this story about how during the Hot Ones challenge, I poured a whack load on, and I've told you this, I think I burnt my taste buds because prior to doing these Hot Ones challenge, for me, Frank's and Sriracha was like, not like hot, but that was like the temperature of heat I liked. And I go, oh, yeah, it's pretty spicy. Now I actually can't taste them. Like, they're just sauce to me. Sauce. And so this guy goes, well, there's this one called like the hottest damn hot sauce, and it's Da Bomb, but it actually tastes good. And he samples all of them. So I take a sample of it, and it was really good, but it was also like fucking hot, right?
You're an idiot.
so no, but the thing was, like, it actually tasted good. Like, it wasn't like Da Bomb but it was Da Bomb. So like my nose is starting to run, my eyes are watering, and I'm like, for anyone that's done really hot sauces, you know that it intoxicates you in a different way.
Yeah. So, also, your spice tolerance just like isn't the best anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna deny that. So I stumble out of there, and I'm wandering through the alley, and I'm like wandering across the street, and I want to go to this park, so I just have to turn right, go through this alley. And when I say an alley, don't picture like in Vancouver. This is literally just it's basically an open street with like 2 buildings on each side of it. But I turn the corner abruptly, and it's where the shade is, and there's like 15 homeless people there. And right away, this woman comes up to me, and she's got like a bra on with like a bit of a like a blanket or something over like her chest and stuff a bit. And then she's like holding her underwear up. She has one sandal, and then and the underwear's not like huge, but you can tell she has to hold it up. And she has a half drank bottle of wine, and she's like like haggard. And right away, I'm like dying, and I'm like, oh, and I'm half cut, she comes up and she goes like, she starts saying stuff to me, and starts like doing all these weird hand signs, like legitimate like gypsy cursing, like all the shit. And I'm like, what are you doing? But my mouth's on fire. She's like, oh, it's like, what are you doing? In my mouth, like on my nose, eyes watering, all this shit, right? And then she goes, let me see your glasses. What's your star sign? And she tries to grab my glasses. So I grab them right away, and she smacks me right in the forehead. Like, psh! And I was like this.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, literally like, what? But it wasn't like, it didn't hurt. It was like, you know, if you hit someone in the forehead, it was just like, ah. So I was like, ah. And then, and again, like, I'm like dying, because I'm not just chilling. I'm already like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, go away, what are you doing? I'm like, but seriously, are you like a gypsy or something? Because she was doing all this shit. And I was like, you're cursing me? Yeah. And then she kept being like, erratically, she was obviously hammered, and then I started like talking to her as I was walking away, and she was following me, being like, I can't even remember what we were talking about, but it was dumb shit, and I was making her laugh because I was being like, you think you're some like gypsy master, and I'm gonna put like an anti-curse on. And she's like, ha ha ha. And then she eventually goes like, you know what, you're pretty funny, I like you. And I'm still just like slowly walking away, and she's following me. And then she's like, yeah, so if you're wondering why I'm here, and first off, I wasn't wondering why she was there. Like, I was just trying to get away. And then she goes, my 4-year-old son died, and like a year and a bit ago. And I used to live in a house and have a husband, and now I'm here. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like, that's terrible. Yeah. And I was really sad. And then she's like, yeah, and like, I woke up this morning, and I was wearing like no clothes. I had one sandal and no underpants, so someone gave me their underpants, and that's why her underpants were like that. And it was just like the whole time, like, and then I was like, I had like a genuine moment with her where I was like, I'm really sorry, and I said to her, I was like, like, my dad died a few years ago, and like, I'm not saying my dad dying's your son, but like, I've had some like hurt and loss too, so like I feel that. And it was like, I don't know, it was really weird because like that happened, but how it like got to that moment was like really weird,
really bizarre.
And I could tell though, like, it was sad too, because like you could tell she was hurt, and like quite frankly, like, I don't know, like, if you're gonna do crack and become homeless, I can understand why that would be how it happens.
Oh yeah, like
right?
100%. Like there's always like reasons why these people are where they are. It's not just...
and that's why I was telling you, like, I didn't like. I wanted to save it for the podcast. / my mom was shocked by the fact that I had drank tequila or a whiskey shot. I just didn't feel like she could handle the whole story. But yeah, it was like weird, like emotionally, to be honest with you, because it was like, it makes me sad because I feel like a lot of the time homeless people, I always get into situations like that. I've told you this and you've seen it. Like, it always happens. And I feel like a lot of the time it's because I just literally like look them in the eyes and talk to them and like ask questions. Yeah. And it's always bizarre. Like, I don't want to know, like.
Well, I think as well, you're a very like empathetic person, which I think is part of it. And I think you have a kind of like aura that people can sense that about you as well. Yeah. You're very approachable and empathetic.
Well, the homeless people feel that way, at least.
I think most people feel that way.
Are you calling most people homeless?
Calling you homeless in a minute if you don't shut your whore mouth.
Well, thank you. That's nice of you
You're
to say.
welcome.
But yeah, it was, I don't know, it was a bizarre story because like there's so many layers to it. Like the start of it was whack. She literally just right in the head, and all I was thinking, like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a second urge where I almost threw her down. Because she was trying to steal my glasses and then smacked me right in the forehead.
Yeah, I mean, if someone smacks you in the forehead, probably instant reaction would be to take a swing.
Well, yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna swing at her. I was gonna throw her on the, like, be like. Push her
I
down.
probably would have taken a swing.
Yeah, but she was like a smaller chick than you. If I took a swing, it'd be for sure assault. But I was like, no, like, I'm obviously not gonna do that. But I had to, like, and then she was like, she genuinely, like, you know me, I actually think you could, like, fuck with someone's energy, and like maybe if you're a witch you could like curse someone. Yeah. So like I was actually like being like, what are you doing? It wasn't me being like, oh, look at you little gypsy. I was like, what are you doing? Stop that right now. And then she'd be like all this shit, and the whole time I'm like, I know you think you're like from Bewitched or like some like TV show, but you just look like you're being like so weird, like shaking your head and shit. But yeah, and then so to go from that, and then all of a sudden, like I'm not gonna lie, when I told her about her son, and then like telling her about dad, like, that was real. That wasn't me being like, oh that sucks. Like, I actually like, we kind of saw each other for a second, and it was an intense moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see why that would be a pretty intense moment.
Yeah. So that was crazy. And it also made me be like, is this what I have to deal with if you live in Penticton? Not everyone, just me. Like,
yeah, probably you.
Like, I'll be like, no matter what, I could be in like the highest, richest hills in Penticton, and somehow there will be like a meandering homeless dude that'll like be like, hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
What? Yeah, so that was crazy. And again, there also, I forgot, my mouth for like most of the interaction at the start was so on fire that my eyes and nose were running heavily.
Yeah, she probably thought you were on something and was trying to get some of it. It's like, whatever he's on, I want some of that shit.
You seriously want some? I was like, okay, come with me. She, like,
take you to the board game place.
Come on, no, trust me. She's like, oh, it's in the back of the board game place? Something like that, yeah. Give her the bomb.
Drink this whole bottle.
Smoke the bomb.
It'll give you the best high of your life.
I mean, it will give you a high. It won't be a drug high, but you'll be on some other, like, burnt out fucking mouth. Burnt
out mouth
planet. Yeah, is there anything else you want to... I really have been wanting to tell that story. I thought it was crazy.
I knew all of it apart from when I didn't know she bopped you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I couldn't have said that to my mom. She would have been like, what? You were drinking?
Oh, March.
Yeah. Yeah, so but Penticton was fun. It was really good to see Alex McMorty.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, let's see here. So, this is a weird thing. Touching other people's phone screens as they show you stuff. Do you do that? Do you think it's weird? Is it improper?
I wouldn't touch someone's, like, phone screen, but I hate it when someone's, like, trying to show me something and they won't let me, like, hold their phone. I'm like, I can't see. The writing's too small. I don't know if you noticed this, but I have my writing set to really big.
I didn't notice that, no.
But I wouldn't, like, touch someone's phone, but when I wanted, like, if they're trying to show me something, like, I need to, like, see it.
Yeah, okay, so I'm
like,
not meaning like that. Sorry, like, that's fair, yeah. Like, if someone's like, yo, read this, and they're holding your phone and you have to, like, grab it.
Yeah.
What I'm referring to is, like, let's say, like, I'm like, yo, Neve, come over here and let's watch this video, or like, let's say there's like 2 or 3 people, and then I'm like playing the video, and instead of being like, yo, turn up the phone or like skip forward or something, you just do it.
I mean, I feel like if it was your phone, it would be different because...
Okay, pretend it's not me.
Oh, then no. I would just like that. I don't know. I think that's a very private thing, right?
Yeah, that's why I thought of that. It's a weird. It is. It's very personal to have someone like touch your phone.
And it's like when you're showing someone a photo and then they start scrolling. I'm like, you're gonna see stuff that will mentally scar you. This isn't for me. Like, I have zero sense of privacy, but like, you might not want to do that. You know what I mean?
We could start a segment called "Don't Touch Me There."
Don't touch me there.
And it's whenever you talk about things that you don't want people to touch because they're like private to you. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, like your genitals.
Why have you just started whispering? Is that like an atmosphere thing?
Yeah, your genitals, or your phone. Like, would you rather someone grab your boob or touch your phone?
Probably touch my phone.
Damn. Okay. Let's try to pull fast from there. Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's like wildly inappropriate. I'm like, how dare you? But I do think it's kind of like, ideally you're not touching other people's phones to like turn up the volume and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. Have you heard of a show called Chimp Empire?
No.
So I think we should watch it. I've heard really good things.
It really doesn't sound like something I want to watch.
Okay, well, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. I will. But here's the thing that's crazy about Chimp Empire. So it's 4 episodes, and it's just all chimp stuff, and they follow them around, and there's a lot to chimps that you...
Oh, like it's like a National Geographic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was picturing like Planet of the Apes kind of vibe where it's like everyone is chimps. I'd watch it if it's like a nature thing.
Chimp Empire, it's about a social media firm, but everyone's apes in it.
Yeah, no, I was definitely picturing
no, this is like actual real life.
Okay, yeah.
Scientists now believe that chimps have entered the Stone Age. Think of that.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and when I first heard it, I was pissed. Like, I was visibly distraught at work. I canceled 2 clients. No, 3. No, like, I was thinking about it. I was like, what? No, like, that's crazy. But then, like, it makes sense.
I don't think it is that crazy, because, like, we are not that far removed from them at all. Even stuff now, like, I've noticed, especially with having a baby, when you or I pick up Juliet like from her crib, she automatically like wraps around you.
Yeah, she's a little monkey.
You know, she's a like she is a little like monkey baby.
Yeah. And
like she's all about like climbing and like
100%,
figuring stuff out, and it's like, oh yeah, we're actually not that far removed from monkeys
yeah, and
at
if
all.
you believe in evolution, then it's just naturally makes sense that they're gonna learn that. And the one that I know of that's this is I heard this, but then I just know of this is orangutans. they're in some jungle somewhere, and they hang off the side of riverbanks in the trees, so they're like above the river. They're not on the side of the river, they're like hanging out over it.
Yeah.
And they use a spear, like a stick that's super sharp, and they stab fish with it. So they've like
cool.
proven
they use tools.
Because there's, for a long time, like when I was growing up in like elementary school, like we knew chimps use tools and stuff, but it was like they use this twig to get ants. This is like the difference between a twig to get some ants out of a hole versus spearfishing is like massive.
Yeah, but I mean that's like kind of the natural progression, right? Of like figuring out how to use tools to obtain what you want to.
So what does it go? It goes Stone Age, the invention of like what's next after that for like the evolution?
Iron?
Is it? Oh no, it's the Copper Age, because that's.
Honestly, you're asking me this. I have no idea.
I think it goes copper, and then after copper, it's iron, and then the invention of the dildo.
You think you're fucking hilarious.
I am. Okay, that's pretty funny.
Not at all.
Okay, this is what should I talk about here? Yeah, okay. I want to circle back. Remember how I was very upset about listening as calling it reading?
Yeah.
So just so people know, this wasn't just a podcast thing. I get upset about this often.
Yeah.
Yeah, so coming back to that point, you're going to shake your head at this. Is listening to writing a form of literacy?
No.
Why?
Because you can't listen to like grammar.
Well, let's see what literacy is, the definition of it. Because literacy, okay, here we go. Literacy is a continuum of learning and proficiency in reading, writing, and using numbers throughout life, and is part of a large set of skills which include digital skills, media literacy, education for substance development and global citizenship, as well as job-specific skills. That's from UNESCO. Well, because like you can make an argument that it's like auditory listening, like that's how you're learning, right? Which like there's nothing wrong with learning through auditory. So like if you're really good at listening, would it mean you're like really literate at listening?
No. I think to be able to be literate, you need to be able to like literacy is about like reading and writing and having those practical skills. And I think listening is more of a social skill than a practical skill.
Okay.
Because you can listen and like obtain information, but unless you're listening to something that is describing like grammar, spelling, numeracy, kind of that sort of stuff, then it doesn't make you literate. Just because you're absorbing that information doesn't mean you can put it into practice. Do you know what I mean?
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just more like kind of pondering it, because it's I always pictured literacy being more your ability to take in information via like written word. But then reading that changes the different definition of what literacy is.
Yeah.
Because it is a different definition than I thought it was.
Well, I mean, in the sense of literature, you can absorb that through listening, yeah. But in terms of having literacy skills, I don't think.
But I'm talking about.
It's a different thing.
Okay, but I'm not talking about podcasts. I'm talking like, and this is.
No, I'm well aware. Yeah,
I'm talking about like literal like a book, but you're listening to it.
Yeah.
So you still think the same, even knowing that, like you.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Okay,
like
okay.
you can absorb literature, like you can listen to Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But to and like absorb it as literature, but you don't have the skills to look at the kind of like the dynamic pentameter, the cadence, the grammar. You need that capability outside of listening to it. Do you know what I mean? The ability to like analyze text
Right.
is more a literacy skill than like listening to a book.
All right, fair enough.
So unless you're listening to like sorry, you're squinting really hard at me right now. Unless you're listening to like a book explaining literacy, then I wouldn't call it like, you know, like a form of literacy.
Well, sorry to all the people that listen well, because I was trying to give you a win, and we're not going to give you it.
I mean,
No. If you are good at listening, we don't care.
I'm a full believer in listening is a form, like it can be a form of education in terms of like for those who don't absorb as much through reading. But I think like reading and writing is still a very necessary part of learning.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
Okay, these two are two things that... Oh, actually, you know what? Before we do that... No. Should we end with the new segment? Because I have two more things, and then we can do the end segment.
I don't know. Your pod, you figure it out.
It's our pod.
Our pod.
Okay, I'm calling out singers that sing about the best song ever, but that's like their song is about the best song ever. Like, you know that
Jack
one?
Black?
Well, Jack Black's one I like, but I'm calling him out because of you know that song? It's like, and we danced all night, and it was the best song ever. You know that song? No?
No.
Okay, well, like, it's so dumb. It's like Jack Black's song, but it's the same thing where they're like, because I like the Tenacious D one, but this one I was listening to and I was like, that's such bullshit. They're singing about it and like the whole thing's about how it was the greatest song and it made everyone party, but it's not like Jack Black's, and I'm just like, that's such bullshit. You can't do that. Jack Black did, that's it. So I'm calling that band out. And if anyone knows that song, let me know in the comments.
What that song is.
Oh, it was driving me nuts. I was also pretty rattled. It was after that gypsy woman did that to me, and then that song was on while I was wandering around. I was like, this is fucking horseshit.
Why was that song on?
I don't know. I was at the Grand Fondo.
I was gonna say, I was like, were you just
I was just
listening
listening
to it
to
in
it.
your headphones?
I mean, that's possible. No, this was just being played.
Yeah, I can't comment. I didn't listen to shitty generic pop music, so
Me
and
neither.
anyone who does is of a lower class than me, and I hate them.
Well, all the people at the Grand Fondo that are exceptional bike riders.
I'm glad that 80-year-old died.
Lower breed.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Okay. Okay, so the last two things I'm going to talk about here. First, I want to talk about social media isn't what it used to be. And now, well, yeah, but like, I just want to point it out for people to think about because it's so dumb. Like, social media, I'm going to go with just Instagram for this, or I guess Facebook. And I don't know. I don't do TikTok. Twitter was Twitter was a bit different beast, but like Instagram used to be, just for the record, I don't have it anymore. But like, it used to be your friends.
Yeah, sharing pickies with your friends.
Pics with your friends, and then the stories came, which was still a little ridiculous, but it was like, it was all within the realm of like, you're just doing stuff with your friends. Now Instagram is literally just selling you stuff and showing you pictures and videos, but like, there's no attachment, I feel like, to people like it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now it's not like a place to... I remember when I first got Instagram and it was just like you said, it was like pictures, but those were back in the noughties when we all took... I don't know if you ever did this, but back when I started like going to the club, you would take your digital camera and take like 70 photos and then upload them all to Facebook without even like going through them, you know? Like, it wasn't a case of like, oh, look at me and all this cool stuff that I'm doing. It was just like, oh, this is something I did, and here are my memories from it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, now I feel like it's just kind of a popularity contest and who has the best fake life.
Yeah, like I think, like the reason I bring it up is because we talked about this off air yesterday. To be fair, we do a lot more talking off air than on air.
Funny then.
But I'm just so happy I'm off all that crap.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's not like I when Neve went back to England, how long ago was that now? 3 months?
I went back in April.
Maybe.
And May.
So,
April to May, I went back for a month.
Yeah, so like when she was gone, I'd already got rid of all of it for like a month or so. I won't even say 2 months. Like I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a decent chunk of time now.
Yeah, it has been
I'm gonna say 5 or 6 months.
I think around that. Yeah.
And I was like bored one day, and I was just sitting on the couch. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Twitter back, and I loaded it. But the thing was, I deactivated everything, so like I didn't exist. So I had to like restart it.
Right.
And as I was like going and just adding stuff, within like a minute, I was just like, fuck this shit, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
And like I'm just, so my whole hope with like just bringing that all up is, if you're sitting there, I encourage everyone, fuck all that shit, just get off it. Like honestly, all your friends that you love and know, you'll text and talk to them, but fuck that garbage. And think of that, everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people, like they say that they use social media as they're like, no, but like my friends and blah blah blah. And I'm telling you, maybe like the chats and stuff, but you're not connecting with your friends like you think you are. You're just getting bombarded with bullshit. Yeah. And you think you like it because it's things you're interested in, but it's just like, just dumb at this point. It's just so goddamn dumb. Yeah. And yeah, so I just want to like, maybe people will, someone hears that and it inspires them to get off that shit, and I encourage it. Even just delete it off your phone and just try it on your computer, and instantly you'll realize you don't care about it as much. Yeah. But you still have that like air quotes connection. And yeah, then do you have any thoughts on that?
I just hate social media. I think it's like, and you know, I'm not gonna play hypocrite and be like, oh, I've never done that, because I have. I was like very into my social media. I was into the likes. I was into posting stuff that I knew was gonna get a lot of likes, like taking all of these photos, picking out the best one, chucking some like editing on that shit. You know, like I was full-fledged in that kind of mindset, and honestly, you just have to like take a step back, and I'm like, if I'm doing all of that shit, I need to address my own mindset, because I wasn't like, who was I editing those photos for? Do you know what I mean? People see me every day in real life, and if I put a photo on that's like edited, people are gonna be like, oh, she doesn't look like that in real life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. Like, who am I doing that for? And I'm doing it for myself, to make myself feel more secure. And then if I need to do that to feel secure in myself, then I've got some issues that I need to address, you know? Like I would get, like, if I was dating guys, I would get mad if they were like liking other pics of girls half naked, which is like, I think is like valid, but at the same time it's like, oh, it's because they have access to that. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was a time when our parents would like date each other. They didn't have access to that, or they'd probably be doing it too. You know, it's not like it's just, I don't know, it just kind of, I think it's really detrimental to people's health. It's really fake. Nobody's posting like their real life on it. And also and even if people are posting their real life on it, there are some things that like it's okay to be private about. You know, people are like way too comfortable on the internet nowadays, and your digital footprint lasts forever.
No one honestly gives a fuck.
And no one cares.
Tacos you're eating. Except me, send taco pics.
Send taco pics.
Yeah. I just, social media, it was definitely taking a hit on my mental health, and I'm just happy it's out of my life.
Yeah.
And now this one, okay, I want to keep this as apolitical as possible because it's more a statement as opposed to but the statement, like, if you really get too deep into the statement, it's going to get political. So we're going to just stay away from that if it does. But what I want to talk about is the internet. This is do you remember the web I was talking about? The web that...
Oh, what, with your algorithms and shit?
Yeah. Okay, so, like, I feel like the internet, like, we always think of it as, like, this broad, like, web that, like, is ever expanding. So it's kind of like this, like, outward opening up, like, what pyramid web, like, does that make sense? Like,
open server.
Oh yeah, like, it's just always like you select one thing and then there's more options off of that, and you kind of, like, go through and you can find, like, all these unique, like, different small areas of the internet, and each person has this unique algorithm that's all to their own. And I'm just wondering more and more now if maybe that's not true, and very quickly, or, like, not very quickly but slowly over time, there's only, like, I this is a low number, but there's only 8 places that everyone ends up on the internet, and you just slowly get there. Now, don't get too caught up in the number 8. I'm just using but do you get what I'm saying in terms of, like...
I think I understand what you're saying in terms of, like, algorithms on social media. I think it's different for the actual, like, internet as a whole, because you think of all the different things you can type into, like, Google, and you're gonna get very, like, niche. You can find anything on Reddit, for example.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't think, like, everything on the web will lead you to one place, but I think that there are like algorithms on, like, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where once you've liked one thing, it will like, subconsciously lead you somewhere.
Did I say the internet?
Yes.
I meant algorithms. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yes, you're right. Like, that's, yes. Algorithms are that's, sorry, correction. I meant algorithms.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this idea of this broad, diverse, like, super unique thing. But maybe algorithms always just narrow it down to, like, smaller, like, is that 8 groups?
Well, yeah. And that's the thing. People, they're so easily influenced. You don't even know it's happening. But... and that's, like, the whole thing of, like, influencers now. They're called influencers because they're literally, like, paid to send you somewhere.
Well, do
you know what I mean? And there's only so many places they can send you.
I just found out that Oreo's been paying fitness models to talk about how they, like, include Oreos in their diet, and they're these, like, yoked ass motherfuckers that have 0% body fat, and they'll be like, my cheat meal is Oreos, and, like, it's all the sugar companies. And so it's this thing of, like, and then it's this scientist I watch, he's Renaissance something, he's, like, he's a top, like, fitness guy, and he was like, this is such horseshit because they all, like, they're all saying this. He's like, you can't be eating Oreos all the time and look like this person, but they're just claiming, and it's all just, like, paid.
Well, yeah, also half of the, like air quote fitness models on Instagram that you see have BBLs and are selling glute workout packages.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the same kind of concept. It's all just kind of bullshit.
It's all just bullshit.
Yeah. But do you know what I just had a thought of social media as well, and this is going to sound a little bit conspiracy-y, but I know you love that shit, so.
I love good old-fashioned conspiracy.
But have remember we watched those Darren Brown documentaries on Netflix?
What were they about?
There was one that was like the guy that jumped in front of a Mexican guy.
He jumped in front of a Mexican.
Yeah, they turned a super conservative guy. Who was like who was against immigration. They got him to take a bullet for a Mexican guy but it wasn't a real bullet.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then we watched the other one where they persuaded people to push a guy off a building.
Yeah.
And it's all through, like, subliminal messages and shit like that, and, like, the power of persuasion and kind of, like, building that up. And, like, Darren Brown can do that. Darren Brown can literally get someone to potentially kill themselves or to kill someone else in a reasonably short amount of time. You think that the internet can't do that to you? Like, I don't know. I think it's very naive to... Yeah, I think it's very naive to be in taking all this information from social media that is targeted to you and still believe that your thoughts are completely original and your own.
Yeah. The war of the mind is for sure a thing at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah. I think we'll get off that because I don't think it's that controversial to say, but I just don't even want to go near it just in case for some reason that upsets people. And if it does, that's whack.
I don't give a fuck if it upsets you.
I don't think it will. I don't know.
I speak the truth.
Yeah, but yeah.
Or my truth, anyway.
Okay, so now, are you ready for the new segment?
All right, hit me.
Okay, so we have a new segment. It is called Buy or Sell. Okay?
Okay.
So there's going to be two ways this is done, okay?
Yeah.
So the first one, this one will be a little hard because you didn't know about it because I want to surprise you with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there'll be things that I'm going to give you as options as buy or sell. So you buy it as in like I like it or sell it no.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And then the second portion of buy or sell is going to be your buy and sell of the week. Your buy or sell of the week. It's one or the other.
Okay.
And it's anything. So your buy could be I don't know. I'm baby mama to a stud. That's finger licking good. That could be your buy. And mine would be like, I'm selling the Dune 2 because it's just a shit book. So do you get kind of the idea of buy and sell?
I think so.
Okay, so this we're gonna start with just a little easy segment of buy and sell. What do you think of the Irish goodbye? Are you buying or are you selling?
Oh, buying every time.
Really?
My favorite goodbye is an Irish goodbye. I hate saying goodbye to people. I would literally, saying goodbye to people takes so long. And you know how irritated I get with you when you say goodbye to people. Because I'm a very impatient person and Derek's a saint for putting up with me. But when I want to leave somewhere, like by the time I've said I want to leave, I want to be out the door in the next 2 seconds. And Derek's like, I've got to go say goodbye to everyone.
Well,
and I get really irritated.
I'm a big buy on the Irish goodbye myself. There's sometimes you can't.
You never do it.
Well, these are my close friends, so I don't want Irish goodbye them, but I'm not a hater of the Irish goodbye.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of an Irish goodbye. You just dip, and if you do it enough times, your friends will know that that's your personality. That's where I'm at now. And then,
I don't know if I want to be known for that.
Or I'll just dip, and then 5 minutes later being like, text and say, I had such a good night, love you, I left.
Sure. Okay, well, you know what? I'm actually going to sell the Irish goodbye. I'm selling all the Irish goodbye.
I'll buy all your Irish goodbyes.
Okay.
Next time we're at an event and you're taking too long to say goodbye to everyone, I'm just gonna leave.
Okay.
And
I'll
just imagine we're out in like Langley or something, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going.
Okay, so next up, buy or sell barbecue.
Buy. Why would you ever sell barbecue?
You hate meat.
I love me some meat.
What?
I love meat in and around my mouth.
Oh, I would gladly. One of my dreams is to have someone lather my mouth with barbecue sauce, but it's a brisket brush. Like they're using a brisket to just wipe barbecue sauce on my.
Oh wait, so the brush is just a piece of brisket.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the barbecue sauce is so tangy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy one. I always want to bring up barbecue.
Can I do a little side note on that?
Yeah, of course.
Also, I think we should become barbecue sauce connoisseurs because there's so many different types of barbecue sauce, and I don't think we found the perfect one yet, and we need to.
Yeah, I mean, I've been exploring. Like, I've bought quite a few, and there's some decent ones, but I wouldn't mind making my own. What if you bought a whole bunch of barbecue sauces and mixed them to make a mega barbecue sauce?
Mega barbecue. Do you know, remember when I cooked ribs the other week? That's what I did with this. I mixed like a ton of barbecue sauces together.
Those were good ribs.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, so now I think for this one, I didn't have too many buy or sells. I just thought of it last minute. Well, that's a lie. I stole it from another podcast. I just thought it was a cool idea.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Bob Does Sports. I love that podcast / golf YouTube channel / your game buy and sell, because we're doing it too now. So yeah, that game, that's a new segment we're gonna do. Do you have any buy and sells for the week?
Let me think.
I got some while you're thinking there.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Okay. My sell for the week is gonna be 80-year-old grandpas in heat. and I'm not referring to dogs mating. I'm referring to 80-year-old grandpas in heat selling.
Yeah, that's a good sell. Let me think about my sell for the week. My
It's buy
sell.
or sell. You just do one.
Oh.
Or do you want to do both?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do both.
I think we should just do one.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna sell.
Or should we do both?
Oh, that's what I thought we were gonna. Anyway, I'm gonna sell it getting light at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Because since it's been getting light at 5 a.m., the baby will not sleep past 5 a.m. And that's just not a fun time.
I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning.
That was your own doing.
It's not my fault.
You can't we have a baby, pee. Derek. You can't just pee in the night now.
And then I had to massage all day. And then I had to eat some really good risotto lobster Neve made. Honestly, that was pretty sweet to come home to.
Yeah, well,
that was good.
You said you were having a long day, so I thought I'd whip up something special.
Yeah, it was literally a super long day.
So is that your buy?
Well, I mean, yeah, you know what? Why don't we do buy and sell? It's more fun that way. And no, I mean, I would do that as my buy, but you just did it. I want to do a different one.
Okay.
Well, we're thinking again. We're not going to be thinking of them while we're here. It's just for this segment being introduced. But also, I'd love to hear your guys' buy and sells for the week. And sometimes this is, I'm just going off of like where I've heard this from.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might buy something and want to sell it the next week. So maybe like on my end, I sold 80-year-old grandpas in heat. Maybe some grandpa pushes me over at the store, and all of a sudden I'm all in on grandpas in heat. I'll be like, yeah, there's nothing. I think we should have more grandpas go out in the hot sun.
Buy it back at a reduced price.
Yeah, discount 2 for 1 on
two for.
On the sidewalk. Okay, and then my buy for the week. You know what I'm gonna do? My buy for the week.
What?
Having the burger from Bridge, the French onion burger. I haven't had it in about a month, and I love that burger. I think it's probably my all-time favorite. Or no, that's a lie. It's right now. It's my favorite burger. It's my all-time favorite.
Okay, my buy for the week, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but you'll get it. Is just kind of being up in Penticton with your mom and her friends, and just having some really good conversation.
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah, that's a buy for me.
It's a good buy. Yeah, it's a fair one. All right, you got anything else you want to do? You good? I think we should wrap it.
Rhea Ripley's back in wrestling.
Oh yeah, that's
sorry.
sweet.
That was really aggressive.
Well, it's
but
it's true.
I just love her so much, and I'm really happy she's back, and that's another buy for me.
Okay,
I'm buying two things this week.
You can't buy two things.
Well,
no,
tough
you
shit.
can't. You can't. You gotta sell
Okay,
some.
well, this weekend was technically last week, so
Okay,
that was
I'll
my
give you
last
that,
week's
fine.
buy.
But
And
now
then
next week you're not allowed to do a buy.
okay, fine.
You have
I
to
don't
do a
need to
division.
buy every week, Derek. I'm not shopaholic.
And yeah, we're actually, just so people know, SummerSlam's in 3 weeks. Is that right? 2 weeks.
It's on the 3rd of August. So
August
like
3rd, we're
just 2
doing
weeks.
SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and Primetime Gilbert Furious is going to be out.
And the cowgirl.
And yeah, I definitely would tune in for that pod, because that will be a thing to check out.
I'm going to do a promo.
Anyhow, it was good to be back. Unfortunate about COVID, but as everyone knows, COVID sucks. It's been that way for a long time. Glad to be back in your ear holes. Everyone take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.